It was raining that night, the kind of rain that feels personal, like the sky itself is grieving with you. Samantha sat alone in her car, the headlights off, watching the world blur through the windshield. The last text from him still glowed on her phone. "I'm sorry, Sam. I can't do this anymore." She read it again and again. Every time it felt like another piece of her heart fell away. For months, she had given everything: love, patience, forgiveness, only to realize that sometimes love isn't enough. She whispered to herself, maybe this is it. Maybe this is where my story ends. But stories don't always end where you expect them to. The next morning, she did what she always did, put on her uniform, tied her hair up, and went to work at the little coffee shop on Main Street. It was quiet, jet. The hum of the espresso machine and the faint scent of rain still in the air. That's when he walked in. A man in his late 40s, wearing a faded army jacket and carrying a notebook. He ordered black coffee, no sugar, no cream, and sat by the window, staring at nothing. Every day for a week he came in, same order, same window seat, same silence, until one day he spoke. "You look like someone carrying the weight of a world that isn't yours." Samantha laughed softly. "Guess you could say that." He smiled. "I used to think the same, until I realized, sometimes, what breaks you is just trying to teach you how to heal." His name was Michael, a veteran who had lost his wife to cancer 2 years ago. He told her how he'd spent months running from the pain across cities, across memories, until he finally learned to sit with it. "Grief," he said, "isn't the enemy. It's just love with nowhere to go." For the first time in weeks, Samantha didn't feel alone. They started talking every morning about music, books, the quiet ache of starting over. Micah never tried to fix her, he just listened. And in his silence, she found peace. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Samantha closed the cafe early. She found Michael still sitting by the window, writing in his notebook. "What are you always writing?" she asked. He smiled, slid the notebook across the table. On the page, in careful handwriting, were the words, "Beginnings are often disguised as endings." She blinked back tears. "That's beautiful," he nodded. "It's my reminder. For you, maybe it can be yours too." Weeks turned into months. The cafe became more than a job, it became her sanctuary. Michael's visits grew less frequent, until one day, they stopped entirely. A week passed, then 2. Samantha began to worry. One morning, she found an envelope taped to the cafe door. Her name, Samantha, written in familiar handwriting. Inside was a note. "Dear Sam, thank you for the coffee and the company. I'm moving to the coast, a place my wife always wanted to see. You reminded me that there's still light left, even after loss. Keep yours burning." Michael, she smiled through the tears. The letter wasn't a goodbye. It was a passing of hope, from one survivor to another. A year later, Samantha stood at that same window seat, now reserved with a small brass plaque that read, "For Michael, who reminded us that healing begins with kindness." She'd bought the cafe from its retiring owner, renamed it New Beginnings, and every day she wrote a single quote on the chalkboard by the counter. That morning it read, "What feels like the end is often the start of something beautiful." Teams. As the doorbell chimed and the first customer walked in, Samantha smiled. The world outside was still unpredictable, still sometimes cruel, but inside, there was warmth. Inside, there was hope. And as she handed over a cup of coffee, she whispered, not to the customer, but to herself, "He gave me a new beginning." Sometimes, life takes everything away, just to show you what truly matters. And in those quiet, broken moments, that's where new beginnings are born.